Everyone, I am Carmen Michael, the professional mic holder.
Everyone, it's Alexis Cardoza.
What's up, everybody? It's the Wild Rhino Clark Connors from Njpw Pro Wrestling, and I am here getting wild, drinking an 805.
Hey, this is Billy Starks.
Rip F and Bison. I ran out of booze.
I am the fire starter, the Carney Killer. I am born to die, Jake Crest.
This is Bobby Olson.
This is Anthrax of H2O.
My name's Christopher Landon, Anthony Streeter.
My name is Frank Minetti.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Red Air and one half of the PH Boys from Hood Classic Entertainment, representing the Hood Boys, the PH Boys, Purple Haze, Prince Alexander.
This is Martin Stone, the original strong style hooligan.
And today, you have the privilege
of drinking at Moe's.
And you know I'm drinking with Mo.
All right, everybody, taking time out before we get this show started, that I want to thank Reaper Apparel for having Drinkin' at Moe's be a brand ambassador for their clothing line. They got good stuff. They got t-shirts, they got hoodies, they got beanies, they got lots of great stuff, encouraging everybody to break out of their comfort zone, live their best self, and hey, it's something I try to live every day. Now, be sure when you go and you're filling out your order, use the code Drinkin' at Moe's, get 10% off, and the link and the code will both be in the description. Let's fucking go.
All right, everybody. Drinkin' at Moe's, my 2 cents. Big Mo here, Nate here. You know the drill. YouTube, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Hit that like button like you're Hulk whipping around Loki by his leg.
I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
Let's fucking go. Oh, and don't forget the audio platforms too, because we're on most of them. Anyways,
yes, we're iHeart Live famous.
But I mean, I'm on that one. Anyways, I've had some time to kind of collect my thoughts on this particular subject, because to be quite honest and understandable, there's a lot of people pissed off. And somewhat kind of sad on multiple levels here. And yeah, we're talking about the whole issue with the lawsuit involving Vince McMahon. And to be honest, anybody that knows anything about professional wrestling, I don't know if there's anybody like that is surprised one damn bit that this stuff is coming out. Because, I mean, just look at some of the storylines that man has booked when it involves the women. Making Trish get on her knees and bark like a dog in her bra.
Are you talking about some of the rather selective storylines they had in the Attitude Era?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
having an affair with Trish, having an affair with Sable. Let's see, I'm trying to remember who else. Oh, there was that whole thing about him wanting to apparently have an incest angle with Stephanie.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
The fact that that idea even came up just proves he's one sick son of a bitch.
If you remember, the Attitude Era was booked a lot by Vince Russo,
and I'll get into him in another episode.
He's the one that came up with a lot of stuff, ran that by Vince, and Vince goes, sure, went up, pal.
Yeah.
Which Vince was Vince Russo's backstop. Russo would bounce ideas off Vince. Vince would say yes or no, go fuck yourself, get better, let's do it. And like you said, we'll talk about this in another episode, but Vince Russo going somewhere else and not having that backstop, well, we saw what happened.
Yep. We'll dive into that.
We'll dive into that later, pal.
But the last year or so has definitely been a wild one for WWE, Vince, and I guess TKO now. But good Lord, the allegations came out that led to his original retirement before the merger was even thought of. And then, it comes out that, they are it's public knowledge at that point, they are thinking of selling or merging or whatever. And then, Vince all of a sudden bum rushes his way back in. Saying he wants to help steer the merger. And my only thing is the WWE didn't need Vince to steer it towards the way that it went. They didn't need him there. They had everybody in place there that could have done just fine without it. And now look where they're at. They, right on the heels of the Royal Rumble, right on the heels of the big Netflix deal, right on the heels of them having some pretty damn good business lately. The more allegations coming out around the same age and time frame of the previous ones, and now look what's happened. He's gone. They're not allowing him back in. They have pretty much given him the Chris Benoit treatment, pretty much erased him.
He's not the only one.
And they've also kind of similarly, but not really completely, done that sort of a thing with the one and only Brock Lesnar. Because apparently he was named, not really by name in the lawsuit, which I got screenshots of some of the communications of what's being said in the lawsuit and stuff, that at some point in the process of putting this episode together, I will let everybody see those. But there was talk of a former UFC heavyweight champion that was named as that in said lawsuit, which, I mean, I think it's obvious by now because of the way things are going with WWE right now, and some of the stuff like them heavily discounting Brock Lesnar merch. And they had plans for Lesnar for the Royal Rumble, and then those got scrapped. And now he's pretty much not being considered for anything there.
Well, he got scrapped. His spot did not get scrapped.
Yeah, his spot did not get scrapped, but him being in that spot did.
Now, my understanding is they gave it to somebody else. You know who they gave it to, right?
Braun Breaker.
Yes. So everything that happened when Braun Breaker showed up, that's everything that was supposed to be for Lesnar. That was everything. He was supposed to have that interaction with Omos. He was supposed to have that whatever reaction with Pat McAfee. He was supposed to get dumped by Dominic Mysterio, your favorite guy. And then they were supposed to have, I know, every time that happens, I'm going to say it. He's your favorite guy, along with Logan Paul. It's called Me Fucking With You.
I know. I know.
So yeah, everything that happened that when you with Braun Breaker, that was supposed to go toward Brock Lesnar. And my understanding is that Brock Lesnar and Dominic were supposed to have a match in Elimination Chamber, and my understanding is that may have branched into WrestleMania. It just depended on how things were supposed to, how that all shook out. Now the way things are going after the Royal Rumble, especially on SmackDown with all these NXT guys getting called up. To me, I think there's a possibility that you could see Braun Breaker show up on Raw and challenge Dominic at Elimination Chamber.
Oh hell, he was already on SmackDown.
He was on SmackDown and
said
goes, hey.
that he was going to show up on Raw. So because each of them trying to sign him. So, but the thing is, like, these allegations, and like I've seen screenshots of the texts that were supposedly sent in between the accuser and Vince. And let me just say, this is some serious R. Kelly shit. Like, goddamn, like sick shit. Like, literally shit at one instance where he literally shit on her. He pulled an Amber Heard and shit on her.
Was he shitting out?
You broke out an Amber Heard. Or as we like to call it,
he pulled an Amber Heard during a threesome and shit on her.
As we like to call it, Amber Turd.
But the whole thing is, it was some sick shit. And now, like, I listened to a bit of Eric Bischoff's podcast with Conrad Thompson, 83 Weeks.
83 weeks.
There was some discussion there on this story. And it's like, Bischoff brought up a good point that this is not just affecting Vince. I'm forgetting her name, but her last name is actually my actual first name. I do remember that. Those that know me will know what I'm talking about.
The one that brought up the lawsuit.
Yeah, the sexual assault and the sex trafficking. Yeah. She's going to be carrying this with her for a long time. I literally wish her nothing but the best, because hell, this stuff needed to come out. And
okay, go ahead.
And it's not just affecting her. You have anybody and everybody working for WWE right now. You have you have Stephanie, you have Linda, you have Shane. They're having to live with the fact that their husband, their father, was involved in this stuff.
So with you bringing up that, remember when Shane first came back?
Yeah.
How much truth in that promo that he cut to Vince? How much truth do you think is now involved in that?
Oh hell, a lot. I mean, hell, there's been a lot of people bringing up. Oh, I don't know if you remember her, Ashley Massaro.
Oh yeah, I remember her.
And some of the stuff that she had been bringing up around the time that she got released, and different legal notices telling her not to mention this or that. And then she unfortunately took her own life. And people now finally realizing, holy shit, this was actually happening.
Okay, so Oh, I'm preparing myself because I can feel it brewing. Okay, so we have the whole Vince McMahon thing. I guaranteed, this has been going on for a very, very long time. There was an old, if you watch some of the old 1986 Saturday Night's Main Event Superstars, or some of the Tuesday Night Titans, whatever it is, you'll remember there was a female ring announcer.
Yeah.
He was one of the first ones to bring up a lawsuit about sexual harassment in the workplace. And it wasn't just Vince, it was some of the other guys that were doing it. Let's bring up something else that kind of has blown up in the last couple of years. The Fabulous Moolah was going to have a WrestleMania Rumble Battle Royal, named after her until someone goes, no, we can't do that because of what she's done in the past. I don't even think they've got a battle royal for the women there at WrestleMania anymore.
No, and I mean, you remember the tournament, much like the Cruiserweight Classic that they had for the women, the Mae Young Classic. It was originally going to be named after Moolah.
You know, so this, you say the ramifications of everything. Let's look at it like this. Let's look at long term. What's going to happen? Okay, so Moolah passed away, 5-6 years ago?
I forget, but yeah, it was probably right.
By that time, she was a Hall of Famer. Yes, I get it. He was a champion when there were barely any women. So, yes, she's going to hold the championship for 26 fucking years. Why is she going to hold a championship for 26 fucking years? Because she faced the same person every time.
Yeah,
basically. But because of her past, we can't celebrate her, and rightfully so. If the stuff is correct, why would you?
Yeah.
So in a couple years, not even a couple years, somebody else, Triple H and Stephanie's kids could be running WWE by this time. They'll say, hey, let's have a battle royal at, say, SummerSlam. And let's name it the Vince McMahon Memorial Battle Royal. And next thing you know, someone's going to go, wait a minute. Why do we want to celebrate somebody that almost killed this company?
Well, I do get the point of that. And yeah, I would see something like that coming up. The only thing that I see with making, in my opinion, that being unlikely is it's not like the McMahons are the ones running it now.
I know there's no McMahon running it right now.
I mean, they have people related to the McMahons, like Triple H, and
now,
they have
Ronda Rousey went on Busted Open or something like that, and basically told them that Vince isn't gone. Vince is still there at WWE headquarters through Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah, I see now that everything came out that his influence there anymore
is minimal.
Pretty much non-existent.
His influence is supposed to be very minimal when TKO brought him back to put him on the board anyway.
Yeah, and now it's pretty much non-existent.
They brought him back and they said, okay, we want you to be on the board, but you're going to be overseeing everything on this side. So they were basically, I think they were doing it kind of a transparency thing. We'll bring you back, but you need to watch over UFC. We'll have somebody else watch over WWE. You don't need to worry about that. And when these allegations, the lawsuits came out, they probably said, yeah, it's shining a bad light not only on the WWE, but because you're on our board, it's shining a bad light on TKO as well. We need you to step down. And to be honest, they let him do it, as dignified as he could by just stepping down and not getting fired.
Yeah, stepping down, but then saying in the process that calling we'll just call her the accuser, a
Mhm.
liar.
Yeah.
So not taking any responsibility for anything. But here is the one thing that Eric Bischoff also said that I can agree with, that in the end, WWE, TKO, they're going to be fine. It's going to take a while.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while for all this stuff to kind of, I guess for the lack of a better term, die down. But, I think the fact that, since TKO, they're the ones like with the final say so with WWE right now. They have the final go ahead. So if anything, like the whole idea of a Vince McMahon battle royal with people at the head of TKO right now, they're not going to let anything like that happen. And, eventually they'll be fine. But then, kind of like what I brought up, that there's all sorts of people that are going to be living with this situation for a long time.
It's gonna
the accuser.
It's gonna take a while.
Oh yeah,
I can almost guarantee that anytime they have a post-show press conference, there's going to be questions.
That's going to be something brought up. Yeah,
for a while, and then when they think that everything's going to die off, something else will happen. They'll have a verdict, or
like if it goes to trial and the verdict.
The allegations, they'll go on for just say 4 or 5 months. Let's just say
give a number,
and then they'll say, okay, well, we're going to go to trial on this date. So it's built up, now it's dying down. I guarantee whenever they come up to the trial date, it's going to start picking back up.
Oh yeah.
And as it goes on, it's going to keep going on, and they're going to have to constantly. McMahon has not had his fingers in WWE in 7-8 months. He's been on the board of TKO, but he was not supposed to have his fingers, and to be honest, it shows.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But they're still taking questions about Vince McMahon and everything going on. I get that. I understand that. You can't say WWE without having Vince McMahon coming to the forefront.
Oh hell, the whole Attitude Era,
the
whole storyline that launched Stone Cold. The whole storyline there, him and McMahon and Stone Cold. It was like, you can't. Let's just say, okay, I brought up the whole Chris Benoit comparison, how they're giving him the McMahon the Chris Benoit treatment. It was a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit easier to give that treatment to Chris than it will be for them to go through all the footage they have and do that to Vince. They're doing it, but they got like a lot more to comb through.
Oh yeah.
So it's
they're going to be asking questions about this. They're going to be answering questions about this for years.
Oh God, yeah. It's going to be a while. And I guess in the long run, my personal thoughts are with, literally everybody affected, from the victims to the McMahons, because hell, with Steph, Linda, and Shane, they weren't involved in this. This is just an opinion here. I'm almost thinking what part of what led to Stephanie leaving was she was trying to get that to stop, but it wouldn't. And the whole rift between Vince and Shane. That whole, it had a big part in that. And, you know, hell, Linda hasn't really been seen in, you know, the aspects of WWE stuff in a while.
Yeah,
I don't know how much
she's got her own thing
involvement
going
she
on.
really had since she had her stint in government. But, you know, she's gonna, unfortunately, due to being married to that evil son of a bitch, gonna be tied in.
But how do you really feel?
I think I made it pretty obvious. But yeah, it's just like, my thoughts, like I said, are with the victims, whether it be, you know, I almost consider, not to the extent of the accusers, but, you know, the other McMahons, the employees of WWE, they're in a way victims too, because they're having to live with the ramifications of all of this, and, you know, having to deal with getting asked the questions about all of it for however the hell long it's going to last.
Yep.
And
it's going to last for a while.
And the WWE fans, you know, dealing with the thoughts of, how do I support this company that had this guy at the head of it doing all that sick shit? Like, I've heard people talking about wanting to, you know, not watch wrestling for a while because they're having that conflict in their head about a guy that pretty much made wrestling what it was, or what it is now, was involved in all of that. How can I support that? Which, my message to them is, yeah, it's unfortunate, but there's so many other choices out there that have nothing to do with WWE and that situation, that you can throw your support behind that. But I would totally understand. This is a really weird situation. So if people need to take a break from watching wrestling because that conflict in their head going on, it's understandable. So I can only hope that everybody directly involved, you know, as a victim of this, can find the help and support that they need, because I can't even imagine what they're going through right now.
I know.
Anyways, that is about all I have on this.
That's all I got.
All right. Anyways, to end on a good note, because I like to have fun and be happy, I am, well, damn it, I need to get some more Broken Skull American Lager. My wife is in Kansas City right now, and they sell it down there, so I need to have her try to get me some before she comes up, because she's in Kansas City right now. Anyways, that is about it. Have a good week, everybody. Let's fucking go.